Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. Of course, this is the show where we talk sports with comedians. And we have a great time doing that and get ready to jump off the show. Today is my man Talent. Of course, I'm the host. I'm Frank Holder. Let me see how Talent is doing, bro. How you doing, sir? How's everything?
Hey man, you know me, man. Good to be expected, man. It's a Tuesday, which is like my Monday. So I'm good. I'm hanging in there, brother. How you doing?
I'm good too. I'm really good too. I could complain, but ain't nobody care if you complain. Absolutely nobody cares. You know what I mean? Nobody cares. Next up is my man, Mr. Rodney Perry, is in the building. Rodney Perry, how you doing, sir?
What up, guys?
That was hilarious. Looks like Amir is joining the build. I'm not sure if Amir's there yet, but Amir's okay. Amir, you there? Amir?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Can't see
We can hear you, but can't see you.
Wait a minute. Why you can't see
I know
me?
you're dark skinned, but god dang.
My camera's on. What's going on?
I don't know. You got just a black box.
Yeah, you
What
might have
the
to
hell?
back out.
All right,
Back
I'm
out,
gonna
come back in.
come back in.
Yeah, you might have to do that. You might have to do
The
that.
feds got his phone.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, the black is called the blackout.
All right, so we're going to jump into the show, man. The crazy thing about this is we talked about you missed this yesterday, Talent. Fig's going to join the show a little bit too. And thank everybody who's watching. We appreciate y'all for watching, man. We appreciate y'all. We're going to jump into this. Yesterday we talked about it too. You missed a little bit of it. We're going to talk about Deshaun Watson again, only because what happened was since we got off the air yesterday with the Deshaun Watson case, and amongst the allegations, there have been some details that have been released about what's been happening in all the allegations or what's being said about happening in all the allegations. And there goes Amir. We see you, bro.
Okay.
So this
What's
time,
going on, gentlemen?
I think with the Deshaun Watson allegations, I think once these things have come out to light and everything else, I think the NFL is going to act a little bit more different now since now they have details in the allegations. Now here it is, T. You tell me what you think. A woman came forth, the 24th person. She said that Deshaun Watson became obviously sexually inappropriate, and while he was getting a massage, he dropped his towel. He ended up getting an erection. He masturbated in front of her, and then he ejaculated on her. The NFL now knows this. They know the world knows. They might have known before, but now they know the world knows. Kind of like the Ray Rice thing, where they knew Ray Rice knocked out this girl, the lady, but they didn't see the video. You know what I mean? Now, once the world saw the video of Ray Rice knocked out, then they had to cut Ray Rice immediately. He hasn't played in the NFL since. So my question to you, T, is: do you think, and your Fig is in the building too? Okay, Fig, you come in. Fig, what's up?
What a deal, brethren.
So my question to you, T, is: do you think the NFL is going to treat this this Deshaun Watson situation different now that the allegations, not only have they come out, but now details of this allegation has popped out? Do you think we're going to hear something of that, or do you think it's going to be the same? What do you think?
First of all, once she dropped his towel and started, jerking off, get out of the way.
Completely agree.
If he got it on her, see, that's suspect to me, Frank. Like immediately when you drop your towel, you're doing something inappropriate. I call it a day. You know what? I'm packing up. I don't like this. This is inappropriate. Blah blah. If you got to the point where you got to finish and got it on me, I ain't get out of the way. So that's the suspect thing. For real, that's a suspect thing in there for me. But to answer your question, we know how it goes. Yeah, now when details come out, everybody sings a different tune. It ain't no different than Ray Rice when everything was innuendo, and then when the details came out, the video surfaced, it was a night and day tune being sung. They started off singing pop and rock and roll, and that video came out, everybody was singing the blues. So, yeah, I think that's going to change a lot how they go forward and everything. And then I think also at the end of this thing, when people settle, keep in mind, because it's like a weight, it's like a seesaw. When people do settle and take that money, that's going to have a weight on it too.
Yeah, I agree with that part. RP, do you think since the NFL now knows details of that situation, do you think they're going to act differently since they know the world knows about the details of this? And do you think Deshaun Watson's in bigger trouble, if he can be, bigger trouble? What you think?
Wow, man. I mean, they had his lawyer saying that happy endings wasn't against the law. I wonder if you pleasuring yourself is against the law. I don't know that to be a fact. And when somebody do pull their thing out and start jerking off, you got to load up. You got to go get some lotion or some. You got to do some other stuff. Like why you know what I mean? I think I got a similar question to Tyler. Like, why you still there?
Yeah, like, that's a lot.
If you there to get semen on you,
mm-hmm.
you was really you. I mean, and then I mean, is Deshaun Watson an Olympic shooter? I mean, is he? How far? Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've attempted to shoot, and it never goes really far. And you got to respect the guy for shooting that far. Just depending on. It's
Amir,
like,
I'm gonna ask you,
and hold on, I'm not done. What if they make this an Olympic event? And Deshaun Watson is all of a sudden the best in the world.
He's the best in the world.
Amir, I don't know if you can top that one, bro. Do you think?
Oh my God!
Do you think the NFL is going to change their tune now? The details of this allegation to come out.
Well, I'm sure they probably are, but just like my two counterpartners have said to this point, you do have questions about this because at some point, when did she realize that this was a situation that she probably should have, done some other things? She didn't have the Matrix move, like, none of that was in her repertoire. Like, what are we talking about? Like, we just are confused because as men, and I know some of you women are going to be upset about this, but there were just certain situations that once you get to that point, it's either one or two things. I'm terribly appalled, and I'm like, Talent said, I'm storming out, or I'm with the shenanigans,
right?
And skeet from the windows to the wall. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is crazy, Frank. But I do think that now, because of the allegations, it's going to be interesting because now is this protocol for him? Do the other ladies say that he's also utilized that same train of thought with them? Like, it's just weird. It's just really weird. But this is funny.
Amir did something Talent normally does. Amir threw up an analogy up in there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of shocked with it because he even added a song up in there with that. So, Fig, here's the situation. I know you came in late. Deshaun Watson got some allegations we discussed yesterday, but a woman came out yesterday after we got off the air, and details of the allegations said that Deshaun Watson developed an erection, began to masturbate in front of her, and ejaculated on her. My question to the guys has been, do you think the NFL is going to act different now that they know the public knows of what actually happened with Deshaun Watson's case, or like Ray Rice, or it's going to be business as usual, same thing?
Well, the first thing I have to say is this had to be a Caucasian woman, because like Helen said years ago, sisters treat semen like acid. You can't get no acid on you because it'll make your skin peel. So, you know what, though, Frank? Can we be 100 right here, right now? The Cleveland football team had a conversation with the NFL, and they came to an agreement that no matter how bad this thing was, this is what they were going to do. And that's why they offered him that amount of money. Those billionaires did this deal in a back room, and they already know what the worst is going to be.
Right.
And that's why they made this deal. So now they could be trying to fool us, the public. But the truth be told, this is already established long before they gave Deshaun Watson $230 million guaranteed. The way that they did, and you could tell that they already knew because the way that they structured his deal, that it was only going to be $1 million for the first year, which he would lose the most amount of money on this first year when he's going to be suspended. Then the bulk of his money would be made thereafter. So we don't know what the deal is going to be, whether it's going to be 6 games, it's going to be 8 games. We don't know what it's going to be. But they clearly knew, and that's why they structured his contract as such. And anybody else that pretends like they don't already know what it is, you're just fooling yourself, man. It's like the business bully talks about wrestling. The fix is in. The fix is in with this. We already know what it's going to be. That's why they structured this deal: $1 million for the first year, and then the bulk of his money thereafter. So they already know what it's going to be.
I could definitely see him being gone for the entire season. Now that allegations came out, I could see that happening. I saw 6 games first. Now this stuff's coming out. I think it's going to be longer than that. Anyway, here's next up, T. I'm gonna throw it to you, man. The Los Angeles Lakers ended up introducing their brand new head coach, Darwin Ham, into the public and everything else. What flew under the radar is, I'm not sure if people even check this out, is he fired a lot of the existing coaching staff members. And the crazy thing is he also hired Rasheed Wallace to be on his staff too. So you got 2 head coach guys who are basically in the same temperament, hot-headed guys they were in the NBA season and everything else. So do you think Darwin Ham and Rasheed Wallace are going to change the thought process of the Lakers? And this is a good thing? Or what you think, T?
Yeah, I like it. I think we talked about this not too long ago when we were talking about coaching and getting administration and coaching in there that these young kids are going to respect and not run over, because when you're making these kind of dollars these young kids are getting now, you bring in the super old coaches, they have no respect for them. They didn't watch them. They're not fans of them, whatever the case may be. But the Rasheeds and all of them, they were kids watching them. They were kids liking basketball, not knowing how far they go, but watching guys like Rasheed Wallace and get championships and stuff like that. So they're going to get a different level of respect with assistant coaches like that and even coaches like Darwin Ham and them. So I think this is a great move. I think more teams in the NBA should do this. Some of them already do it, but I think every team should have those guys on that, if not head coach, assistant coach, front office, executive level. You should have those guys working for your organization. Now, y'all might hate on my Knicks. One thing I can say about my Knicks, every liaison position they got is from an ex-Knick. Everybody's still working there, from Allen Houston to Larry Johnson to Greg Anthony to John Starks to Herb Williams to Smith. Everybody's still at Charles Smith. They're keeping all those cats in there working. And that's what the NBA should look like. You should, like any other job, there should be levels you move as you go through your career. Okay.
Rodney Perry, do you think Darwin Ham's getting Rasheed Wallace and that type of bad boy mentality to come on over there? Because, that's that whole Detroit Pistons bad boy mentality type of thought process. And he might be even hiring 2 or 3 more other people who used to be on the Detroit Pistons staff to come over to the Los Angeles Lakers. You think that's going to be a good thing?
I mean, we hope so. I mean, the guys took it on the chin last year. So extreme measures. I mean, extreme situation require extreme measures. So I'm not mad at Rasheed Wallace. I'm sure he'll bring a certain toughness to their coaching staff and to that team. And if you really are honest, they lacked toughness last year, and so there are people that really need that type of a leg up. So I'm excited about that. I like him. I've been researching him a bit, if you get a chance and go back to that last subject, I got a point for that too, but I'm gonna yield the floor.
Okay. Let me ask you, Amir, what's your take, bro? What do you think?
I think it's great that they got Rasheed Wallace on the staff. I think, to both Talon and Rodney's point, not only is he going to bring a level of toughness, he's a gentleman who's also, has a championship under his belt. And I think for the big men in the game, because one of the things that was always phenomenal about Rasheed Wallace is he could take you inside and he could take you outside. So I think that is going to be paramount in terms of helping whatever big men they have kind of get that back into into their offense and back into how they play the game. Fig talks about it all the time, and it's not that, to me, basketball's positionless. I just think some of these kids don't necessarily know what the positions are and how they're supposed to be played. So when you have somebody of his caliber who can kind of, guide you along that path, I think that's going to be paramount for the Lakers going forward. So I think it's a great move for them.
Dave, the business bully, has joined the show. Dave, how you doing, sir?
Frank, I don't have any interesting complaints.
Oh, there you go. Interesting complaints. I appreciate that. Fig, I'll come to you in a second, Dave. Fig, what's your thought process? You think them, for those who are too young to even remember the Bad Boys, Pistons, and all that other stuff, man, they had a temperament, they had a mentality. Looks like the Lakers might be trying to institute that in the new regime that they have going on over there. At least that's the way I look at it. How do you see it, Fig?
Well, the first thing I'd like to get on the record is that Rodney Perry said he likes ham.
I do.
Man, listen, man. I don't know. Is it me or does Darwin Ham look a lot like Ime Udoka? I mean, this is the same.
They do kind of favor.
Now, and he must be a Jamaican because he got two jobs. Not only is he coaching the Boston Celtics in the finals, he's going to take on the Lakers job next year. No, man, for all seriousness, man, like Amir said, man, Rasheed Wallace was an amazing basketball player. Had the temperament of a Draymond Green, if you will. He played inside the paint. He knew how to take the ball to the hole, score, get an and one, and he could take it out beyond the 3-point line and knock that shot down too. I think he is going to do wonders and if it's even possible, be able to improve, helping out Anthony Davis, improve his inside-outside game, man. I think he's going to be an amazing addition. And something that he also said is that he felt like Russell Westbrook still had a lot left in the tank to give. And it seems as though he had a plan in his mind to make Russell Westbrook more efficient on the basketball court, man. I'm not a LA Lakers fan per se, but I'm excited to see what it is they could do moving forward.
Okay. Let me ask you, Dave, what's your take on this, bro?
Listen, man, I like Darwin Ham. I don't have any issues with old boy, but I'm real excited about one Rasheed Wallace. There is nothing like Philadelphia energy. You don't want the smoke. You're not going to. Who's going to talk back to Rasheed Wallace in practice? Unless you just wasn't born and you don't know no better. Do you really want these problems? Because the boy Rasheed, as we say in these parts, the boy Rasheed going to get up in your face and give you those hands and then tell you to go back here and run these here plays. This is about to be a very interesting situation. Now, I am a little bit concerned, Frank, because the median age of the Lakers is about 76, 77. Morgan Freeman was about to join the team, but he's busy getting ready for Shawshank 2. Metamucil Reloaded. So I'm a little concerned that they might not be ready for the aggression and that smash mouth offense and defense that Rasheed Wallace is going to bring to the table.
Okay, all right. Rodney Perry, you wanted to throw out something before we went on to the next topic, man. So please, you have the floor.
Well, as you covered Deshaun Watson, you got this young lady come out. You know, it occurred to me that now everybody else has talking points. You know, we saw this with Bill Cosby, and there, you know, at some point, anybody can say what happened because you know the talking points. Now we watch the news. You'll start to see number 19 be like, yeah, he pulled his penis out, he began to ejaculate, and a little bit got on me. And so now we know the talking point. And so I think as we look at this case continue to open up, we'll see all these women have the same talking point to substantiate their claims.
So you're trying to say, Rodney Perry, that you're starting to believe the women more than the average? You think that the women?
No. I think that they establish the talking points, and then you'll see more women with the same talking points. Right, and as you see more women with the same talking points, it's going to make him look more and more guilty because this is a direct retaliation to what the lawyer said. What he said, a happy ending isn't against the law.
Yep.
And so now it's turned to a guy doing inappropriate masturbation, and it made it physical by getting on her.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't want to victim blame or victim shame, but I think he's a victim too in this, man.
Yeah.
Right. I think you might have to go and come back in. You have an echo. You got an echo. All right, let's move on. So next up, man, I'm going to throw this out to UT. You got the next one up, man. I saw this last night, and it was really interesting because I was reading up on DeAndre Ayton in Phoenix. It looks like right now it's 99% certainty that DeAndre Ayton is not returning to Phoenix because Phoenix have to do one or two things. They got to give him a max contract because he wants $30 million a year, and of course we all know they got to keep Chris Paul. They're definitely moving forward with keeping Chris Paul. Do you think it's a bad move for DeAndre Ayton not to get offered a max contract and not to return? Because word is around camp, he doesn't have he really doesn't have a great anything around the camp. You know what I mean? So what's your take?
Well, I think these young players are stupid as hell. I think when you're young and you early in your career in the NBA, I think a lot of these players' eyes are bigger than their belly. My grandma used to say, all about the money. And if you start off like that, remember how you start, because how you end is how you start. If you start off about the money, what happens is you fast forward 12, 15 years, and you are that Westbrook. You are those guys. You made a boatload of money, but you have no accolades. You have no chip. So now they get salty when they get later down the line. The first 10, money, re-up, max, super max. When you get past 19 years in the league and you that guy that either turned into a journeyman or just never got to the chip or just never got a chip, and you think you this dope dude and you're not considered top 10, it starts to mentally wear on you. And by that time, now you need luck and a savior because it's too late. You don't position yourself to be in position to always make money, but you didn't position yourself to be on a winning team. You're in a winning franchise right now. You have to set a parameters and a time schedule. Go, you know what? We was right here this year. We was right here last year. Then we right here this year. What's to say next year's not our year to get the chip? Let me sacrifice that year, get that chip. And then Supermax is a no-brainer. They're going to do that in their sleep. But these young kids, they don't think like that. So I think it's a not so smart move. And now you need luck on your side to, if you do leave, to land on another superpower.
Rodney Perry, Phoenix had the #1 record in the league all year long. People are complaining. DeAndre Ayton played video games 5-6 hours a day. That's the word coming out of camp of Phoenix. Phoenix people are upset with this dude. A lot of people in management don't want him coming back. I don't see how Phoenix becomes gets the #1 record in the league next year without him. What's your thought process on this, RP?
Man, you see this time and time again. These powers that be, they always demonize the guy when it's time for him to get paid. Pay the man.
Mm-hmm.
Pay him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a integral part of your game. And they even diminished that this year. Oh, we don't really need him like that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because Chris Paul is 1,000 years old.
Yeah.
The light-skinned Kobe Bryant faded on you in the playoffs. You need this guy. You need DeAndre Ayton, man. He's old in the face. He looks 30 or 40 already. I think the guy. I mean, I ain't no big fan of sitting out. I mean, but I think I disagree with Talon a little bit in terms of, man, this guy need to get his money, because what if he stick out the season and catch an injury?
Mm-hmm.
Then he's holes forever. Man, pay this dude, man. And how about this? He can't leave there and end up somewhere. It's a lot of teams on the cusp of greatness that'll take a DeAndre Ayton, a la the doggone Lakers.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But he ain't gonna get no Supermax on the Lakers though.
No.
They ain't on the cusp of greatness either. So
You shut your pie hole. You shut your pie hole, Taylor.
Yeah. Amir, it's your turn. What's your take? If you're upper management, and you know your coach of the year had a problem with you, you know the player plays 5-6 hours video games every day. You know what I mean? He became a problem during the playoffs. Do you get this guy $30 million a year, bro? Guaranteed contract?
This is another one of those weird spaces to be in, because the way that these kids are set up, because this is a kids versus the generation that we've come from situation. Should he be playing video games 900 hours a day? No. Should he be vested a little more in his game and understanding how to play it and what to do, no question. This is where leadership comes in, though. To Rodney's point about Booker and Chris Paul, I don't know if they can get to this, get to him, but they're supposed to be like, hey, big fella, we really need you out here. You're an integral part of what we're trying to accomplish here. You've proven to be very valuable to what we do and how we get things done. And we need you to focus and to really say to yourself, if I give the effort, sky's the limit for what we can get accomplished. I think if they can convey that to him, and if he can, truly understand what position he's in, now you got a winning situation there. Chris Paul's not going to be here much longer. He got maybe another year or so, and that team is all relatively young along with him. So they'll be around for a while and be able to continue to do well. So I think that he should get his money, but I think they got to figure out a way to get him focused so that he understands, what is at hand.
Okay, that's your take. Fig, talk to me. Let me just say this to you before I throw it to you, Fig. DeAndre Ayton statistically is not the top. He's the 10th and borderline the 11th best center in the league and has been the last year. Out of the last 3 years, he didn't crack the top 10. Do you give this guy top 10 money? Because that's what $30 million a year basically is. You know what I mean? Do you give him top 10 money, or you say, nah, he ain't worth it?
Well, let me put it to you this way. Is it DeAndre Ayton's fault, or is it the system that they run over in Phoenix? Every time I watch Phoenix, and I think I said this before, I'm watching these young guys run around shooting three-pointers and stuff like that. They're giving the ball to Chris Paul. He's shooting it up. They got Devin Booker and all these other guys jacking up three-pointers. Are they using this guys to the fullness of his potential? Now, when you tell me there's top 10 guys, I don't know who they are. They can't be centers, because I'm thinking, I ran through my mind, I can't think of 5 centers with this guy's talent. I just don't. I know there's one that's hurt that plays for the Golden State Warriors. He's been out all year. You got Joel Embiid. You got Anthony Davis. You got
Fig, let me just stop you. Hold on, let me stop you. You're thinking about the eye test. I'm talking about statistically speaking on where I understand what you're saying, but
no, I know about the statistics. I'm just saying they don't use him.
I agree.
I'm just saying, how many times you see them in Phoenix? How many times do you see them pass this kid the ball and tell him to go to work? It's never that. So
I agree.
I believe that's the reason that his stats is down. I think if somebody else decided, I'll tell you who could use him. I'll tell you who would use him. I know the Boston Celtics would use him. You put somebody like DeAndre, you put somebody like this kid on Boston, I'm telling you, that's an automatic title if they're not going to get one this year. Because you got Al Horford that's older, and you got this other kid, Williams, that's injury prone. You put a DeAndre Ayton on Boston, that's an automatic automatic title with these young dogs and that big dude that is a rim protector. If he's not blocking shots, he's at least changing them and make you think twice before you go in the hole. And if you give him the ball a couple of times, he could give you 20 and 10 every single night if he's used properly. So do you pay him $30 million? Well, you better, because you gave Chris Paul, who's 37 years old, upwards of $30 million, and he's damn near 100. He fell off. He fell off the cliff right after his 37th birthday. So now you're gonna argue about DeAndre Ayton, but you got Chris Paul making damn near $40 million. You have lost your mind.
Yep. Dave, Fig hit the nail right on the head. DeAndre Ayton is not being used the way he wants to be used. He wants the ball to be pounded in the inside. He wants to score more. He's not. Phoenix, the way they run their whole offense and everything else, is shooting from the outside. He wants to score more, and Fig hit the nail on the head. He's upset about that.
Listen, ever since Fig got that chemical peel in that spray tan, he's been on fire with his commentary. Frank, I just want to point something out to you, and I'm going somewhere with this, so I need you to give me just a little bit of latitude. My daughter is 23 years old. My daughter just graduated from Howard University with a communications degree, and I'm 100% happy because she's 100% debt-free, and I ain't got to go see the bursar's office ever again. Now, with that, my daughter also has a PS5. Now, she's one of the best photographers, filmmakers. Like, she's done stuff with the director of Queen and Slim. My daughter is a beast. However, she's 23 years old. I do not expect my offspring to be Dave Anderson, 44, because Dave Anderson, 23, was also playing video games. And every psychological study shown will show you that there's a certain amount of recreation and merriment that has to happen for some people to focus. And if almost 20 points and 10 rebounds per makes me horrible, yeah, okay. We're not talking about Bam Adebayo here, who's not that far ahead of that. Like, sometimes we got to stop looking at these red herrings for what they are. This is what people do in order to buck break individuals and make excuses as to why they don't pay a franchise player, because y'all are so focused on the perimeter that you miss what's happening in the paint. That man's body in the paint is a difference maker. Let him play his video games, because when he gets on that court, he is effective. Now, I do think that if Joel leaves Philadelphia, I ain't got no problem taking him. And I think he would fit really well up in Boston. So, like, this is the non-starter. Pay the man his money and stop being a little punk ass about it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm gonna come back to the NBA in a second, man. I want to just throw this out there because I just saw on the NFL, and I forgot to mention this yesterday. We were talking about literally Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald was going to be one of the hot items I was going to bring about today. But between the time we got off the air yesterday and the time we got on the air today, he got his money. He reworked his deal. He had 3 years left. He reworked his deal. He's getting $95 million over 3 years. He is now the highest paid non-positional quarterback player to ever play the NFL game. Aaron Donald got his money, and guess what? Now he's that guy. Deserves it? Not deserved? What you think? See, what's your take?
Well, of course, I think it's deserved. It's just go back to what Rodney says. Like, I don't know why it's so hard that everything's a saga to get your money. Mm-hmm. Like everything's like either demonizing or it's a saga. Obviously, Aaron Donald, you got to give him his money. He deserved the money. It's well deserved. He's putting it out there, put it all out there when he's on the field doing his thing. I think it's deserved. I just think that going forward, we got to get to a place where, like any other job, man, like every time somebody come in your office for a raise, God damn, you can't break a statue like Jerry West in Winning Time. Every time they go in office, breaking the damn NBA championship. You could either say, it's like it ain't no different than us when people ask us for a few dollars. I have it. I don't have it. I get paid next week, blah, blah, blah. Like, you don't have to fly off the handle. And it seems like that's what these players are going through, because every time one of them is waiting on a contract or renewing it or getting some money, we have it for 2 months as a story in the sports column. I think he deserves it. Give the boy his money.
All right, so Rodney Perry, I'm going to change this. I'm going to change the topic with you.
Okay.
Talk to me, man. Tell me what you think about the Las Vegas Raiders making some additions. They made a lot of additions, obviously, to their camp. They got Devontae Adams. Of course, we already know that they've got a brand new head coach. Josh McDaniels came from New England. They're trying to get ready to run that New England offense out there and everything else. Do you think the Las Vegas Raiders, look like they're gonna be in the top 3, top 4 potential? Because right now this morning, man, they got picked to definitely make the playoffs and might even be in the AFC Championship game. What's your take on that, on the Las Vegas Raiders?
I mean, the Raiders have made some moves. They got your boy over there. What's his? God dang it! I'm spazzing. The one that took the knee.
Derek Carr, QB. Devontae Adams.
No. The guy that
Colin
took the knee. Kaepernick, yes. Which was a social move, but it's a good look. I'm looking forward to Colin Kaepernick, seeing him get on the field at some point. Man, how about this? The Raiders look good. Mm-hmm. I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but I got a couple of friends that's Raiders fans, and the Raiders are different than the Browns.
Right. Like,
the Raiders lose every year, but they always put up a good squad.
Right.
They always have a good, like that. The Oakland or Vegas or wherever the Raiders are, the franchises are not losers, right? And so it's a different situation. So I look forward to the Raiders, man. And if the Raiders win, there's going to be a lot of happy people in America. Raiders are one of those teams that a lot of people support, man. And even if your team isn't winning, you can find some love for the Raiders somewhere. So shouts out to the Raiders. Well done, man. I love what they're doing over there.
I do too. Fig, changing the story. Fig, Seattle Seahawks. are rumored to be ready to pounce on Baker Mayfield. They don't want to make a trade for him. They're rumored to pounce on him the minute he gets cut because they expect him to get cut. But we all know he might not get cut because of what's going on with obviously with Deshaun Watson. He might stay in Cleveland. But if he does get cut, good fit for Seattle Seahawks. Do you see Baker Mayfield getting the resurgent comeback QB of the year? Anything, player to comeback of the year? You know what I mean? Any of that type of thing if he lands in Seattle?
I'm never the one to down Baker Mayfield. I think I wouldn't call him one of the best quarterbacks, but he's a serviceable quarterback. He's not what Rodney would call a steamy pile of doodle. But the thing about Baker is that he needs the pieces around him. And Russell Wilson, every time they hyped him the ball, he was running like it was a jailbreak. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure if Seattle has the line or the playmakers to be able to help Baker Mayfield be successful. They have two echelons of quarterbacks. One quarterback can carry a team and make their players better, and then some quarterbacks are just serviceable enough that if they have the pieces, then they can win with those pieces. And I think Baker Mayfield falls to that position as far as quarterbacks is concerned. So I don't think unless Seattle are going to put some other pieces there with Baker, I don't think he makes that much noise.
Okay, all right. With that being said, Dave, Deebo Samuel, you're the business bully. Deebo Samuel has now decided he's going to show up for OTAs. He's going to shine up for the mini camp. He's going to show up and everything else. But his biggest problem is he wants to get paid as a wide receiver. He's being used as a wide receiver and a running back. He wants to get paid as a wide receiver. Do you think San Francisco is still going to trade him before the season starts, or do you think he's going to end up staying there? And what's your thoughts about Deebo Samuel moving forward with San Francisco 49ers?
I say if you're a smart man and you know what I know, you better pay Deebo his money before he snatch your chain. The thing of it is, I'm not mad at somebody wanting to utilize a player in more than one aspect. I just feel like you should pay him for what it is. I'll never forget when Jerry Jones and Deion Sanders sat down, and Jerry Jones said to Deion Sanders, what is it? How much do you want? 15, 20 million? Deion looked at him, cocked his head to the side and said, both. And then they went to Pizza Hut and got that stuffed crust commercial, and Deion got $35 million. All I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Deebo's in that same type of echelon, but Deebo's an immense athlete. So for me, if he gets his money, he stays. If not, chunk them deuces like Chris Brown.
Okay, I see what you're saying. T, I'm gonna start with you with the next one, man. Jimmy Garoppolo got excused since we talk about San Francisco 49ers. He got excused from showing up, obviously, at mini camps, OTAs, and everything else. He's still, rumors has it, this is not a fact, but rumors has it that he's still having shoulder issues and everything else, and they might start Trey Lance. I'm not sure about him staying at San Francisco 49ers for the rest of the season, bro. What's your take? You think he's going to be in the San Francisco 49er uniform come opening day?
My take is this. The only person on this show that cares a damn about Jimmy G is Fig. Bro, I say make more Subway commercials. He's good at that. The whole Italian hoagie thing. Bro, we know he stay injured. Like, one thing that's never going to be called breaking news anymore is a Jimmy G injury. That's an oh yeah story now. You're talking about something else. It's crazy, the mass shooting, but Jimmy G still hurt. Ain't no breaking news. So this right here, the fact that it comes out his shoulder or whatever case may be, does not shock me one iota, Frank. I've come to expect nothing less of him. I pray for him every season he plays, because he's good. We know he's good. He just can't stay healthy. Right. So every time he does get on the field, I'm praying game by game, week by week. As soon as I'm tell you when I cry. You know when I cry? When they extended the football season, the game, I cried for Jimmy G.
Wow.
Man can make 16. You're gonna add another game.
Sorry, my bad. T, that's my bad. Rodney Perry, Justin Herbert is favorite in the top 3 to make the Super Bowl MVP this year. He's in top 3, top 4. But here's the thing: San Diego Chargers defense is one that's always been letting them down. It's how they've been losing games. But they added J.C. Jackson literally as in their safety in their backfield this year. Do you think Justin Herbert is going to have a breakout season now that the Chargers defense supposedly got better?
Well, I've never been on this Justin Herbert bandwagon, but man, you can't deny the guy. The kid is good. He's a quality player. He can throw the ball. He's accurate. He's got distance. Is this going to be a breakout year? Yes.
Okay. You think it? So
Yes.
You expect it to be a breakout year and possibly in the MVP conversation?
I think the MVP is a bit of a stretch, but it's definitely going to be a year where he's going to get the accolades he deserves from people like me that were doubting him.
All right. Speaking of breakout years, Fig, your New York Giants have supposed to be having a breakout year, supposedly with the new head coach, man. Brian Daboll came over there from the Buffalo Bills. He looks like he's mixing things up with Daniel Jones over there, man. Do you expect the New York Giants to have a breakout year and to do better this year than they have the last three?
First off, they're not my Giants anymore. I'm down with Pittsburgh.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing, man. The Giants still have the same players.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody over there making noise. They got rid of my man Odell. It looks like they're trying to get rid of Saquon Barkley. So the two stars on offense, the two best ball players that you have on your team, you want to get rid of them, and then you're going to throw all the weight on Daniel Jones? Yeah, they're going to break out. They're going to break out. Yeah, if we lock them up, they might break out of prison, but they ain't going to break out.
That's what I was going to say. I think he read the story wrong. They were signing autographs at Rikers, and it was a breakout. They're not breaking out nothing.
They ain't breaking out of nothing, man. They still got to contend with the Eagles, the Commanders, and that team that everybody loves to hate, the Dallas Cowboys, in their own division. So
Yeah,
I don't know if the Giants going to break out to be nothing.
I'm glad you brought the Dallas Cowboys up because I was getting ready to throw that out to my man Dave, the business bully. Dave, man, it looks like a lot of people's jobs is definitely going to be on the line this year at Dallas because this will be their third season of a lot of things. Third season with the head coach they got. Third season, a lot of things, man. If they don't, is this Super Bowl a bust this year for Dallas Cowboys? And if they don't make it, will they hire and make a whole lot of drastic changes? Will they hire a new head coach and make a whole lot of drastic changes? What you think?
I hate Jerry Jones, Frank. There's nobody on this show who doesn't know how much I have disdain for Jerry Jones. Listen, I had myself a nice little piece, and Jerry Jones tried to slide up on her. She said no. I said, "Girl, you dumb." That's why I broke up with her. Anyway, here's the point. Jerry Jones don't like to lose, Frank. And Jerry Jones right now has a team that sucks. I mean, they've got the fundamentals. It's kind of like how people go to the kitchen and they say, I want a chocolate cake, but they got eggs and butter and sugar. And I mean, you know the recipe, Frank. If you're not, Uncle Rodney definitely has it. You got to start putting things together, right? And right now, there's a lot of lack of cohesion. If they don't do something major, Jerry Jones is going to take his $1 billion checkbook and start writing checks to people who can make things happen. It's as simple as that. And, look, I'm a Dak Prescott fan. I hate to admit it as an Eagles fan, but I do like Dak Prescott. I honestly think that the Cowboys, if they don't make some serious changes, you might as well stick a fork in them. They're done.
Yeah, that's what I think, too. I think this is going to be a last year. It's last year for that rodeo. T, you're up. Let me ask you, bro. Every year we have a breakout team that does a whole lot that nobody saw. Last year, it was the Cincinnati Bengals. They ended up going to the Super Bowl. This year, who is your team that you expect? And I'm going to ask all you guys that, so give you guys a chance to think about that. But who is your breakout team that you see is going to do better than people expected that no one saw coming? And it'd be great to pick your favorite.
I think we're finally going to see Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I think we're finally going to see Buffalo in the Super Bowl this year. They've been knocking on the door, next to the door, for the last few seasons. And that last season gave a real glimpse, came down to rules of the game, and they, got edged out. But I think we're going to see Buffalo in the Super Bowl. That's my breakout team. I think they're going to surprise everybody.
Okay, that's your breakout team. Rodney Perry, who is going to be your breakout team that nobody saw coming that's going to do really wonders and is going to either make it deep in the playoffs or end up in the Super Bowl? Rodney Perry?
I'm gonna say, and I know y'all. Here goes. There's a few teams I could say, and I know y'all gonna probably say Rodney. I knew you gonna say that. But my Bears may be like at the very least they're gonna make the playoffs. The Chicago Bears, the young quarterback is going to have a breakout season. Right. The offensive line has been shored up. Nobody is talking about it. Rest assured, we got a couple of fast-ass wide receivers, and the Bears are going to be good as hell.
Okay, so
write it down.
No, I'm kind of on you with that too. Fig, who's your breakout team this year that you think is going to do wonders that nobody saw coming? That could either run deep in the playoffs and end up in the Super Bowl.
Man, I love Uncle Rodney, man, and I love the way he cates for his team, man.
But that's why I didn't want to say it, because I knew y'all were going to say that.
I love it. No, I'm not saying anything. The only problem with Bears are they hibernate in the winter, which is coincidentally the football season. No, man, I picked the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. I think that coaching staff and the acquisitions that they have over there are going to make some real noise because, they had to get off of Big Ben. Pause. They had to let go of Big Ben because, he was just old and he wasn't able to even be a game manager anymore at his age and with the injuries that he sustained over his career. So I expect the Pittsburgh Steelers to be able to do something, and a dark horse would be the Miami Dolphins because of some of the acquisitions that they made over there.
Okay.
Hold on, you picking Mitch Trubisky and a rookie quarterback?
Let him have his pick. Let him have his pick, right? Let him have his pick. Dave, who's your pick for the dark horse?
Well, the damn sure ain't the Bears unless they just got an acquisition of Yogi, Boo Boo, and the Gummy Bears. I just don't see it happening. I'm telling you, and
you gonna eat those words, Gummy Bear?
It won't be the first time. I got room now. I done jumped from a 6X to a 2X. So I can eat a couple gummy bears and be all right. Meanwhile, I'm here for the Birds. No, not the Eagles. I'm not Rodney Perry Jr. No, the Baltimore Ravens. Demarion Williams just signed a contract. I'm excited about the way this boy moves. I think that the Baltimore Ravens are going to really shake things up. And I'm saying second round of playoffs. Okay. I know y'all calling me crazy.
You ain't even signed your quarterback yet.
Okay. I'm still trying to figure out. You said the Bears' offensive line got hemmed up with what?
They've been picking up big giant people. Offensive line, watch it. You ain't been paying attention to the Bears.
My pick, my dark horse.
Please, Frank, do your thing.
Did you say New England? I quit.
The Patriots.
My pick is San Diego Chargers. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people.
Okay.
Hold on, wait.
Because they did what they did in the playoffs last year. They took, I think they took Buffalo to a neck-and-neck game towards the end, and they just shored up their defense, bro. And that kid, Justin Herbert, I've been telling y'all for 2 years, that kid's the truth.
Yeah.
I think he's going to surprise a lot of people this year. I think it's going to be his breakout year.
Didn't they make it to the playoffs?
That's what I just said. They made it to the playoffs, but they went. If you recall, they went into a do-or-die situation, and literally they went into a overtime victory, which they were doing do-or-die with. I think it was with the Raiders. They were doing do-or-die with the Raiders, and they ended up going neck and neck, and they played very, very well. So that's my team. My team is going to be. If obviously, I'm not going to pick the Patriots because I don't want to pick my team. I want to pick somebody else, and I think that my do-or-die, that my dark horse has got to be the Chargers, because the Chargers are going to surprise a lot of people. Because they not only did they do what they normally do, but they also shored up the defense. That's what they did. All right, so because the show's getting ready to end, and we got a couple more minutes, I want to go around the horn, and I'm going to start with UT, and I'm going to ask you, playing the Celtics tomorrow night and everything else. I'm coming back to the NBA, obviously. I'm going to ask you, do you see any difference in the NBA Finals that we haven't seen? Is it playing along the way that you see it as playing, or what's your take on this, T?
Well, I'm enjoying it, but I'm still also stick by my guns when I say I'm baffled at how the NBA let stuff go or not let stuff go. To me, it's just astronomical when we get the two best teams, one from the East and West, and we have a 4 to 6 point tight game. And in the very next game, somebody goes up 35, 36 points. That's always going to baffle me. Like, and I said this before when we were talking about who we prefer to go and meet against Golden State. This is what you're missing from Miami's defense. Miami got that 90 defense where they slow them down. That gives you a chance against Golden State. Boston cannot run and gun with them because that's their game. That's when you meet Splish Splash and all other brothers running up and down that court. You don't play, ain't no D on fast breaks, just people running and hoping they stop stuff. Defense is planning in front of somebody and playing it. He's doing his best move. You're doing your best to defend it. You can't win against Golden State by running up and down the court with him. You just can't. That you're putting Steph Curry in Curry heaven. So I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, but I don't know, man. If Boston don't change the trajectory of this and get back to slowing it down and playing the D that we know they're capable of, we ain't gonna make that. It's gonna go 6.
Okay, all right. Rodney Perry, you any thoughts you want to throw up in there? Any changes you want to make? Anything? Have you seen?
It feels like the powers that be want Boston to win for whatever reason. But I said is that before we got to this series, the lapses of offense is going to hurt Boston in the long run. And I think that's happened. It happened in the last game. They're gonna come out. They're gonna come out tomorrow and they're gonna shoot like they can't miss. Watch. Mm-hmm. They'll come out there. They're gonna be making everything. But I think Steph Curry and the Warriors are just more consistent, and because of that, they'll ultimately win the series.
All right, Fig. Any thoughts going into Game 2, Game 3 tomorrow night?
The one thing that stands out to me is that it seems at some point Klay Thompson had hit a wall, and Game 3 is probably the most pivotal game in a Game 7 series. So I expect a Klay Thompson sighting tomorrow night where he gets back to doing what it is that he normally does. I see Klay Thompson dropping 20+ points tomorrow, which will be the first time that he's done it in this series.
Okay. And Dave, we haven't heard from you since the NBA finals started. What's your thoughts on this NBA finals? Who you got? What's your thoughts on the series so far, et cetera, et cetera?
Frank, there's only one team that's going to come out on top when it comes to this year's NBA finals. The referees. Like, bro, like I'm sick of saying this because now, like, I feel like R. Kelly pre-jail. Now that you've come around, seeing it my way. They have earpieces in, Frank. They are shaving more points than I do when I'm getting ready to do the do. You take that for what you need. You know what I'm talking about. You know where I'm shaving. It goes down. Let me tell you something. It's usually a veritable forest, Frank. But when I'm done, it's smooth as a baby's behind. Let's stop acting like what talent says does not need to be examined because he's 100% right. You don't go from being 4 points to just 35. And yes, Steph Curry is a machine. And I honestly think he took that MK Ultra and it's probably some type of magical hybrid clone RoboCop type of shooter. But still, bro, the refs are deciding to take this thing out. It's going to go to Game 6. Mark my words, it's going to Game 6 because the sponsors, bro. Do you have any idea how much money, how much revenue and advertising one NBA championship game gets?
Yeah, I can imagine. So anyway, that's the show. T, talk to me, man. You got anything upcoming? Anything you want to talk about real fast?
Absolutely, man. Tonight we got the night off, so we're going to be chilling and getting real drunk. So get drunk with us. Hit me up, Talented Comedian. But tomorrow, the Real Dad Network comedy show at the Comedy Club called Comedy in Harlem, 117th East Side by the mall. 7:30 show. This is for Real Dads Network. So we got a host of comedians coming through for this charity and benefit for the Real Dads Network. And then Thursday, I'm up in White Plains. Look on my page for that as well. And this weekend, Friday, Saturday, in Delaware at the House of Laughs Comedy Club in Wilmington, Delaware. And closing things out Sunday with the Comedy Brunch in New Jersey, and then the night show with my girl Nina Dawkins, LOL, out in Trenton, New Jersey. So a lot going on. Busy week, man.
Definitely sounds like that. Fig, what you got popping?
Oh man, I'm at Mattapan tonight, man. Mattapan, Boston. God dog it. I'm gonna be doing my thing. We're gonna have a good time here with Cool Bubba Ice doing the damn thing. But if you want to follow me, you can follow me at Comedian Fig. I was following Mike Sean, but he lost me.
You lost me. Fig is in Mattapan. If I wasn't going to Jurassic Park tonight, I definitely would check you out. But yeah, and then it's Mattapan.
I mean, Fig's a dinosaur.
Wait, shut up.
Wow.
Hey,
Wow.
I thought Jurassic Park starts on the 10th.
I'm going to the press.
Going to a screening.
Wow. Look at Frank. Look at
See that light flex?
that out there.
That's a
That
light
was nice,
flex. Hold on,
nice
hold on.
flex.
I
Nice flex.
don't even like Jurassic Park like that. I could definitely.
Then why aren't you going to Fix thing?
Because I have to go to press. If I don't go to these certain movies, they stop sending them to me. I have to
That's
go.
all right.
I even got to see Hey, I even saw what's the name of that movie with the waiters and stuff? Oh my god, I can't think of it. You know, the movie with the waiters they talk about in London back in the times. You know what I mean? I even had to see that. I had to sit through that. So something Park. I had to see that.
We don't even know what it is.
Yeah, we
That's
black.
how
We ain't
popular-
watched that. Fig.
It was,
We ain't watched
really
that.
bad.
Fig.
It was really corny. I have to sit through that. I have to sit through that. Rodney Perry. What you
It's
got?
one of those movies that'll win an Oscar and nobody saw it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yo, you
Right,
Frank, you're gonna love Jurassic. Jurassic Park, they're all good, bro. I'm telling you. And I don't like Top Gun, but this Top Gun was
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
I might go see that today.
No,
Yeah, I went to
today,
see that
right now.
yesterday. That was dope.
Oh, you saw it?
dope.
What I got? Oh, I got my show I do in the morning from 9 to 11. Rodney Perry Live. I got the Business Bully tomorrow. I'm gonna be hitting each and every one of y'all to come on and rock with me in the morning if you can. And also next Tuesday, I'll be talking to Monique.
Oh, okay. All right.
You better record that. That's big hype. Big hype.
I'd love to see that one, man.
What time though, Rodney? What time Tuesday?
9:30 a.m.
So at 10:30, 10:45, I'm talking to DL.
That's so petty.
Hey, do that.
That's good cross promotion.
I know if you don't, I know I will. You know I'm gonna get on that. After I've listened to Rodney's interview, okay, that's what. Okay, let me get DL.
Yeah, you chop that thing up. You get the clips like this. What Monique said on Rodney's show. What you got to say, DL?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Dave, talk to me. What you got going on?
Man, let me tell you something. I'm super excited. I am going to be taking the main stage at HNIC Con in Philly. That's on the 18th. Really excited about that. HNIC Con. It's exactly what you think it is. Head nerds in charge. See, that's what's wrong with you black folks. See? Bad, horrible. We're gonna talk about social media and all the things, you know, cosplay, sci-fi, gamers. All my black nerds come through. It's gonna be crazy. Temple University, HNIC Con. You can find all the details on my Instagram at The Business Bully.
So,
Is that your event?
Yeah,
it is. No, it is not. My event is AfroCon, but you know, you got to come out and give the nerds some every once in a while.
So
I think that's dope, man. I might come to that shit.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to come?
Even.
It's crazy.
There's another
Sorry.
black happening in Mississippi in August too. So now we got 3 nerd cons. Okay.
Yeah. No,
Hey, here's the
absolutely.
idea before we close out, Frank. That Thanksgiving week, that is the Dallas Giants game in Dallas. I got a group I'm working for that does the trip out there every year for that game. This year it's on, they play on Thanksgiving, but the trip goes out Wednesday. So we might want to try to finagle, the comedy show's on Friday. We might want to try to finagle a live box seats thing in there during the day since we got a built-in audience. They usually do about 300-400 people.
That would be dope.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
I got family in Dallas too, so that'd be
Something
a
to
good
think
look.
about.
Sorry to hear that, Rodney.
That just means that we got a plate to eat for come Thanksgiving Day. That's what that means, Rodney, because you threw it out there.
Hey, my family will cook for all us.
There you go.
For real.
All right, y'all. That's the show, man. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan did some major moves. I heard this morning he's doing something else too. When it comes to head coaching, and he also might be making some roster moves. And Gordon Hayward looked like he could be on the way out. We got to talk about that tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to definitely talk about what's more going on with the Lakers and more. If we're going to talk about more about the refs in the NBA Finals, and then we're going to check to see if Fig is going to be alive.
And more with Deshaun Watson.
That too. And we're gonna find out Fig's gonna be alive because Fig is gonna be a Mattapan tonight. We gotta check in Fig. If we don't see his square tomorrow, we know what happened to Fig last night.
Oh Lord, don't say
I'm
that.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He got a happy ending.
Yeah. All right, y'all. That's it. That's the show. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Because
Peace.